I'm recording YouTube video thumbnail right now, and I can hear the fan in the basement, and also there are red ants out here. I need to clean up this room. Okay.
So this was back in 2020 when we were stuck with the pandemic and we did not want to lose our job. It was the same case with almost everyone. As you might be knowing, I've been working for an IT company and it was a service company, and we just wanted to be in one of those billable projects just to keep our job safe. And no one wanted to be in a bench. So people were blindly agreeing for whatever project that they got, irrespective of whether their skill set matched or not. And that's how I entered into one of those projects, because my previous project got over just before the pandemic and I had forced myself into another project where my skill set did not match. And I didn't want to venture out at that time because we were all working from home and there was so much uncertainty back then. That's when the trouble started mounting. And I ended up working late in the evening after my office hours and had to say yes to everything, whatever task was given to me, without even thinking twice if I can deliver that or not. And that used to add a lot of frustration, and I ended up spending even weekends and offline hours in preparing myself and updating my skills, preparing for new certifications, taking the exams. Well, overall it was productive, but it was a total burnout. And also I have been preparing for the next project and preparing for interviews. When it comes to office work, it was a complete shit and I just wanted to more of it. And I've been preparing for interview. This was end of last year, sometime back in December. In addition to that, there were many other challenges that I had faced. So we had a toddler at home. I had to do the daycare, and you know how stressful it is when you have a crying toddler and you need to take care of him the entire day. You do not have nanny or maid to look after your kid because it's pandemic. You don't want to have anyone from outside. And I had to take that responsibility of looking after the kid the entire day, right from morning till he sleeps. So it was managing things along with my full-time IT job, looking after the kid, and there were so many other things that were piling up. Well, I couldn't even focus on what I'm really interested in doing, especially the YouTube or the hobbies, because I couldn't travel at all. And when it comes to YouTube, all that I could do was upload some old videos or the YouTube shorts, which was for 15 seconds to 1 minute, which was completely new. I just wanted to experiment. And in between all this, I've been packing and moving out of the city and decided to stay with my parents. Shifting and doing all of that on my own was a biggest challenge in between my office work and managing all of these, traveling between the two cities, packing everything and shifting it myself was the biggest pain, but I could manage that.
So far so good. It's a pleasant drive, not much of traffic. You can see the live traffic outside.
In addition to this, we had a newborn last year and I had to roam around hospital, clear all the bills, roaming around hospital and home. It was, I can say, the most challenging year that I ever had, even though I work from home, but it was turning out to be one of the worst things to happen for me. And at that time, I just wanted to get out of all of this shit that was happening in my life. And on top of all of these things, I had the spinal injury and I couldn't even walk for 100 meters. This is when I decided enough is enough. Life is too short and I need to decide on what are the things that I need to prioritize and focus on. This is when I felt I was totally taken for granted and my work that I've been doing is something that I wasn't enjoying at all, and I had to prioritize on things that really mattered. So as instructed to me, I started working on the yoga every day in the morning, and it has been almost 2 to 3 months now and I've recovered, and now I can even go ahead with 8,000 steps a day, which is a huge improvement compared to what had happened 2 months back. There are a few things that I have decided not to do going forward. Started avoiding doing some of the donkey work that I've been doing, especially in the office hours. I switched project. Now I'm in a much better project and also the project that I really wanted to be in. So I was desperately looking for a complete change and just wanted to get out of whatever had happened back in 2020 with all those kind of frustrations built up over time in the one full year. And also I couldn't really do whatever I wanted to do, and I need to focus on something I love doing. And also half of my lifetime is already over and I don't know for how long, and life is too short and I didn't want to waste my time with unnecessary people and unnecessary things which were not of priority. My aim was to focus on those things which will make me happy, and if it's only of value add. Few months I've been reading multiple books on time management, how do you do things better, what to highlight, what to consider it as a priority. So in the last few months, I've been reading multiple books, and one of the best books that I've gone through is Make Time. Well, I've shared the details of that book and the YouTube community of mine. So if you're following me, then go ahead, subscribe, because that's where I update all of these day-to-day updates on what I read, what are the things which is more productive, and how you can implement that in your life. So I share all of these details in the YouTube community that I've got. So I had to come up with a plan, and I decided, after reading this book, I decided on one thing that I need to highlight in a particular day and focus on that and complete that particular task. In addition to my day-to-day 9 to 5 job, this was the activity that I used to do. I had multiple things in my to-do list, and I used to focus on one thing which was of priority. So I decided to highlight every day in the morning on one activity that I will be focusing on for that particular day. And this really helped me in taking me to the next level. So my first priority was to focus on the new project when it comes to my office work. And there are people always interfering into your personal stuff. So I started ignoring them and just started focusing on things which mattered to me a lot. The burnout time was so hard that I could hardly sleep for 2 to 3 hours a day, and I couldn't focus, and I did not even upload even a single video or YouTube video at that time. So it was a tough time that I went through. So reading some of the books, updating my day-to-day calendar activities, and focusing on things which mattered to me was the main success coming out of that burnout. Well, it was time for me to slow down and focus on those things which really mattered to me and interact with people who were adding value to my day-to-day activities or to my life. I started focusing on things which I have been an expert in earlier, and started focusing on improving the existing things than focusing on something new. And also when it comes to my spine injury, I could recover from that. Now I can easily walk 4 to 5 kilometers in one stretch, and also almost 8,000 steps a day, which is something that I used to do even before. Minimum of 8,000 to 12,000 steps a day is something which I've been tracking using my watch. I'm sure you might have gone through similar things in your life, and it's always good to come out of that, and you need to take few actions in order to come out of it, just like how I did here. There are many more things that I'll have to do, and I'll be sharing many more videos of this kind. So stay tuned. Cheers.